With some more NBA breaking news, it was something else, wasn't it? Seeing Donovan Mitchell get taken from the Utah Jazz over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That threw a massive wrench into the fire for a 3-team trade with the Lakers and the Knicks. So that means that the Lakers have gone back to the drawing board. This is an entire video talking about the last desperation moves that the Lakers can make. And the best part is, a lot of it's your ideas. We have some of the best trades possible that are left for the Lakers for them to go into this season, or they're stuck with the Westbrook Pat Bev backcourt. It is what it is, but there are some incredible trades still out there. There are grumblings and talks that these are in the works, and the scary part is some of the players that are available are in other trade talks, so the Lakers gotta make some moves. I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. And if you like that kind of content, then make sure that you're tapping that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring up some of the, comments and some of these trades that I've been seeing out there, and you are going to vote on them. I am going to discuss them. Now, I've been getting beat up in the comments, and I am not going to be one of these YouTube channels where I hide behind a bunch of video and footage and just talk. I'm face to face. So I am owning that I messed up the Cavs trade with Donovan Mitchell. When the first report came out and I read it, it was hot off the press. It just said 5 picks. So I turned on the camera and I shot it. I didn't know that Sexton was available, and you guys let me have it. I'm cool with it. That's what this whole channel is about. I'm a real dude. I make mistakes. I mess up names. But here, let's talk about some Laker trades. So number one, here we go. Laker fan 49, currently with 17 players under contract with Utah. They need to unload 2 guys. Did everybody know that? It's pretty interesting. I love you guys are smart out there. They most likely will move 2 veteran players from their roster. There is a good opportunity for a trade by the Lakers to finally unload Westbrook and become a contender. It would probably take both of the Lakers' first-round picks to compete with a trade with any team at this point. So I think it's not like no news right now that Danny Ainge wants those 2 unprotected picks from the Lakers. That would have him the first-round pick in like the next 500 drafts. I heard something the other day. I think they have 15 first-round picks. 9 are unprotected in the next 7 years. You guys comment down below how many it is, but it is a substantial amount of picks. Now, if the Lakers are going to actually move off of Westbrook, it really seems as if they've got to get rid of both these picks. Now, I think every team's going to hold on strong. Just like Laker fan 49 said, hey, they don't have to. They can just get rid of 2 vets. They're already in tank mode, so they're not really panicking to get rid of 2 players and trade for them. So this is where it's going to get very interesting with Pelinka and Bust. Are they going to get rid of these picks, or are we going to just roll into the next season and try and, use those picks in some of the cap space? So we're going to go to the next one here. Again, you guys comment down below what you're hearing. The Pacers trade is overhyped. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are both injury prone and are mid players. I'd rather them trade for Conley, Clarkson, Bog, and shooting and defense plus more depth. Okay, right now, this is in regardless of the names, let's just talk about the Lakers in general, right? The number one thing that they absolutely must have to be title contenders, role players. That's it. It's that simple. When they went into 2020 and won it in the bubble, they had incredible role players. Caruso was not trying to go out there and score 30. KCP was not trying to score 30. They literally wanted to play defense, knock down some shots, and be pests. That's it. But when you've got a guy like Westbrook who has been the man for his entire career since high school, it's tough for him to switch out of that. I know it. I've played a lot of basketball, and when I went to college, I saw some of the most talented. These are NBA players. We had scouts at our game. They didn't even make it an entire season because they could not get it into their head that it's a team game. They could come in and light it up during scrimmage and practice, and they could play tough and hard, but as soon as any structure hit, as soon as any kind of role came, they would lose their crap, they would lose their mind, it would get into their head, they would start missing shots, they would have terrible attitudes, and you're seeing it with Westbrook. This is exactly what happened. I knew it when I saw it. He was not going to accept the role. So, getting players like Bogdanovich, yes, he's a walking bucket, but the dude does not need to bring the ball up. He would rather sit on the wing and hit threes. He would rather come off of screens and be a role player. I love trading for some types of players that are not expected to have the ball in their hands 24/7, dribbling the air out of it, just like your boy Westbrook. Next one on the block. Let's go. Let's go. We got Nick Van Exel. I think it's the real Nick Van Exel. Yo, Van Easy, is it you? Let me know in the comments. All right, so Danny Ainge still got that Celtic blood in him. Ain't that the truth? We should have known he would never deal with us to strengthen our roster. Shake my head. Danny Ainge, you are one cold-blooded dude. I think what he's doing down there in Utah is amazing. They can't attract anybody, so you might as well get this draft capital. But I agree. The Utah deal for Mike Conley, Bogdanovich makes more sense. Spot up shooter who can shoot it at a high clip, and great vet backup point guard. Clarkson, good six man, but can't play off the ball. I don't even care about Clarkson at this point. I've done so many videos and talked about it. My dude this year, the absolute come up, the sleeper for the Lakers, it's your boy Kendrick Nunn. He's going to be making noise. He is a walking bucket. I think he's way better than Clarkson. And this is somebody, if we just get Bogdanovich, you know, and I do like Conley. Conley can come in. It's a bigger contract. Everybody's talking about Conley and Fournier. You can't do that. That's two huge contracts. But again, you know, are we going to get rid of these picks for guys that I think are free agents next year? But again, you guys can let me know that down below. This is your guys' platform too, so I'm bringing up everybody's, and we're supposed to vote on it. What do we want to be title contenders? I'm thinking that the Jazz are in a cut salary and players while collecting picks. The only trade I see with Utah is for Conley and maybe Clarkson, but other than that, I think we should keep Russ and our picks. Maybe LeBron can get Russ and Beverly to be good teammates. So Mark Duncan, I'm not laughing at that. I think it's exactly what needs to happen. This, I did long videos on this, like the 4 things that they need to do. Go back and watch these videos. It all boils down to right here. If LeBron wants to go in there and play with these dudes, if LeBron backs these dudes and says, I got you, I don't care what mistakes, we're going to go ball out, they will change. He is the leader. You can talk about Bus, Pelinka, Darvin Ham, but LeBron runs that locker room. And you see it on the court. Last year, he was frustrated, head down, pointing fingers, no energy. It zaps the bench. And he had no big-time vet to come in and say, hey, yo, LeBron, shape up. That's what Rondo did. Rondo did that. He was not allowing, Anthony Davis or LeBron to have these down moments. He kept them in check. That's what Pat Bev can do. So I am big on the Pat Bev. Yeah, he averages 8-9 points. He's not this massive shooter, but he can keep players in check. That's the number one thing. So if you can get LeBron on board with these two players, something can happen. It can get interesting. They can bring a lot of energy. They can run the ball. They ain't going to have much shooting, but they're going to have to be a very fast team. For an old team, that's difficult, but you got a lot of these young studs who can come off the bench and score buckets, and I love Austin Reeves for that. Kendrick Nunn, Damian Jones can be down there rim protecting and saving Anthony Davis's body. It's doable. But next, one of the most shocking trades that I have seen out there, and I'm not a big fan of it. Now, I really appreciate this comment, Midwest, and it's not that I don't appreciate the trade. I just hate losing Nunn. I've been so high on him this year, and I just really think he's going to be a special player. He was one of the most ascending players in 2020, and we are forgetting about that dude. But Russ and 2 first-round picks for Bojan and Clarkson, Conley, Nunn, and a second round for Cam Reddish. I don't really want to see, us getting rid of Kendrick Nunn, especially if we're getting rid of Westbrook. Conley's another great point guard. Clarkson can come in and get buckets. So I guess there's kind of a wash there. But man, I really am high on Kendrick Nunn. He's very, affordable. But bringing in Bogdanovich and Reddish, this really is going to be good for the Lakers because you've now got 2 6'7", 6'8" dudes who can play defense. They're tough. Reddish just hasn't had his year yet. He's been playing behind Trae Young there in Atlanta, never got his due. Thibodeau never liked him in New York. When he was at Duke, he was behind Barrett and Zion, so he's just never had that shake. But this is a guy since high school who was touted as one of the most talented, and he is a knockdown shooter. So again, role players, if he comes in and says, this is my shot to get long-term career, to get the bag, to get money, I can go out there and be a role player with LeBron, knock down some shots, and completely refigure my career. It can happen. I love that, but losing Nunn, I'm not a big fan. You guys vote down below. Would you trade Nunn and the second round pick for Reddish right now? I don't know. Got to weigh that one out. And last but not least, Ben Ellison says, I love Clarkson, but I could see a Westbrook plus Nunn 2027, 2029 first round pick for Bojan, Clarkson, Conley, Rudy Gay. Otherwise, the Jazz can't afford to take Westbrook's salary. So that's one thing, and I love your guys' comments because some of this stuff can't even work out. I am not going to sit here and say I know all the contracts and the monies and legalities. I don't. I talk hoops. Can these guys play together? Is it going to mesh? That's what I love, but great point there. So they've got to move all those dudes just to even get Westbrook's contract, right? There's talk that the Jazz have already have a Bojan trade in place, so the Lakers would need to act fast. Again, I am am been super high on getting Bogdanovich. I love, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, but Bogdanovich is a dude, who I really think, he can score the bucket. Miles Turner, free agent next year, gets hurt a ton. That's a guy that, if he's going to come in and only play 30, 40 games in the season, he's not going to give Anthony Davis the rest that we need. We've got a guy, I think, Damian Jones, I am super high on. And this is what I want to ask you guys. Would you guys rather, if let's say AD's at the 4, who are you starting at the 5? Damian Jones or Bryant? And could you imagine putting on the purple and yellow and having a Bryant on your last name? Pretty cool. But I think I'm a little bit higher on Damian Jones just because of how long he is. He kind of has that Jarrett Allen look to him, but I mean, he can get up and block shots. I love him because he's almost like a JaVale McGee. So who would you start? Would it be Bryant or would it be Damian Jones if we're putting AD at the 4? But Bogdanovich, this dude is just a role player. He can shoot from anywhere, hands in the face, tall defender. I think it's a great pickup. You guys need to be blowing up these comments right now. I do the videos, bringing them up to life. And hey, please make sure you are hitting that like button. The only way that these videos get out there is because of you guys. So I need your help. And I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. And if you like that type of content, then make sure you're tapping that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. And until the next video, my homies, we'll catch you later.